Okay, we started this from seed. Let me show you where we're at with them. Napa cabbage has a rapid growth rate and a very high germination rate. So I can plant, if you'll look closely, I only put one seed in each cup. And those seeds have all germinated. I had about a 99% germination rate, and these things grow quick because you can see that these are only 2 weeks old, and look at all the true leaves I've got. So these are going to be ready to go in the garden very shortly. So we'll be back in maybe a couple of weeks, and we'll take these out in the garden and transplant them right into the earth garden. See you back in a couple of weeks. Okay, our Napa cabbage has gotten up pretty good size, ready to be transplanted. So the first thing I need to do is bring this outside to the seed rack and let this thing harden off for 3 or 4 days, and I'll harden them off and get them ready to put out in our earth garden. So we'll set them right in there, let them get some good old morning sunshine, and they'll be ready here shortly. Well, the Napa cabbage is done well. It's ready to be transplanted out into the earth garden. It's been hardened off. It's ready to go. So let's go over here and let me get my fertilizer ready for this, and we'll go out in the garden and get these in the ground. We're ready to go. What I'm going to do is to get these in the ground today is the first thing I'm going to do when I get in the garden is I'm going to take my cultivator and I'm going to cultivate the line that I'm going to put in 2 rows. So I'm going to cultivate those 2 rows out 4 inches deep. And when I got it cultivated, then I'm going to take my grading rake and I'm going to smooth it out, grade it out as good as I can, make sure there's no high and low spots in it. Then I'm going to set my guide string on and get it in place. Then I'm going to measure off my holes so I have the correct spacing. I'm going to use 36 inches between the plants and 30 inches between the rows. I'm going to get my spacing set, then I'm going to dig the holes for each of the plants, and then I'm going to use fish as my fertilizer. And you can get this stuff at any local bait and tackle shop. They sell frozen bait, and I cut the stuff in half. This is menhaden fish. It's not really an edible fish, but it's I use it for bait, but when I have leftovers, I use it for my fertilizer. I see that right there is all I'll need to put in the hole. One of these for each plant. So I cut all my fish up and I get them ready. So when I go out to the garden, I'll put 1 piece of fish in each hole. Then I'll put about a half a cup of garden lime. This is what I use. It's pulverized dolomitic limestone. You can get this at Lowe's. I think it's less than 10 bucks a bag for a 40-pound bag. It lasts a long time. The reason I use the lime is this masks the odor of the fish as it's decaying, and it keeps the pH where I want it to be for my plants. If you mask that odor, then you don't have to worry about animals coming up and smelling it and digging it, trying to get to it, and they dig up your plants. I know, right? So I put the lime in on top of the fish, then I'll cover the hole back over, and then I'll put my hand in, pull out a little hole just big enough for my starter plant, put it in, and that's it. So let me get the rest of this fish cut up, and we'll go out there and get saddled up on getting this Napa cabbage in the ground. Okay, they're all in the ground, and we'll be back in the days ahead, and we'll monitor the progress of these as they grow along. So we'll see you back in a few weeks. Wanted to give you an update on the Napa cabbage. We got you know, the two rows put in. Nancy's gonna make herself some kimchi. But take a look at how these have come along. They're looking pretty good. So we'll give this a few more weeks, and then we'll come out here and harvest them. So we'll be back in a couple weeks. Well, it's time to harvest some Napa cabbage, get this stuff up. And what we want to do is harvest that inside core of that cabbage. It as you see, it cascades out and makes a real big plant, but that middle part where those leaves are growing vertical, the core is nice and tight. That's the part I like to save. That's the part that makes the beautiful kimchi and all the stuff that Nancy uses it for. We can eat the outside leaves that are laying down, but it's that core part is the part that you want for making kimchi. So let's go over here and cut these out of the garden. We'll clean them up and get them ready. And the good part about having a whole bunch of this is we can share. Nancy only needs a few of these a day, but we're going to share it with her mama and her aunt and uncle and other people that really like to make kimchi. So it's good to make extra, you know, and you have something like this. It's hard to find and it's expensive in the grocery store. So grow plenty. So let's get started in getting this stuff up. Here's our first cabbage. I want to show you how I harvest these, and what I do is I push this back like this. See how I push down? Now I see that beautiful core, see? And I can do the old squeeze test. I feel it's hard. I know it's ready. And I come right down here below it. And there, am I in the camera there?
Your hands are.
Okay, well there we go. There it is. And see how pretty that is? That is a beautiful Napa cabbage right there. So let me get the rest of these up and we'll go over here and clean them up. Well, we got some of the Napa cabbage harvested and cleaned up, ready to go. I'm glad I only got about half of it because that's a lot of work. So I got the easy part done. Now the hard part's when Nancy has to cook it. So she's got her afternoon set out for her. But we appreciate you watching, and if you like our channel, we ask you to subscribe to our YouTube channel and be a part of our YouTube family. And if you want to try out Napa cabbage, now you know the rest of the story. So until we see you next time, always remember, by His hands we are fed. Give us, Lord, our daily bread. Amen.
Have a blessed day. Thanks for watching our videos. We really love making them. If you like our videos, please like our Facebook page to get the latest tips and tricks. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel to get the newest video. Like it, it would really inspire and encourage us. But most importantly, share it to encourage others. We'll welcome your comments and questions. Thank you. Have a blessed day.